which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Our Father which art in heaven, dear Lord God, we thank you for all your many blessings you continue to bestow upon all the citizens of Dillon. We ask that you continue to bless our mayor, city council, our city manager, our city attorney, and all the department heads of the city as we're gathered here tonight to make decisions for the betterment of all the citizens of Dillon. And in everything we do, we pray to be kept. We give your name the glory, the honor, and the praise. But in Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you, James. We're right here this evening. We got Smith here to talk about our audits, so I'm going to move pretty fast. I'm going to get him ahead of the agenda. I have a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll make the motion.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? The motion to approve the minutes for the January special meeting. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? I've got a few things. One good thing today, Glenn and I with Tony McNeil, Maggie, and we had Mr. Patel, Michelle Patel, who is with PKF consulting firm. That's who's doing our feasibility studies for the motel. We met with them today at the Wellness Center right after lunch, and I told them we want an answer straight, quick, after the first study. We want to go to a second one. He said it's what they do. They'll let us know in a hurry, but it sounded real encouraging. We already got some developer names, but we're going to wait and see, obviously, what this study comes back as. And he knows exactly what we're looking for. He pretty much told us what we need to look for, and he was right on par with what we're looking for. And so I know Glenn, I had to leave, but I left the Wellness Center, but Glenn and Tony went around and showed him some sites. So they've used some sites today. We're getting back with him with some figures, combination tax funds, some other statistics that'll help him and his job put together a package pretty quick to present to the developer. So that's where we are with hotel going forward.
Don't mean to interrupt you, but just throw out a number that he threw out that about a $10 million investment.
Generally, they look at, say, a Hampton or a Garden Inn at the Hilton, about an 85-room hotel. Generally, the price tag on that's about 8.5 to 10 million. He was real, he liked, where we were. He liked the sites, a few of them he really did. And, it's all about I-95. So it's the next 2 years from their studies and their numbers, it's the best time. It's one of the hottest times for the hotel developers in the market. So we need it. We hope we get it. We're going to pursue it at all ends. And maybe something will come up. Kind of tired of hearing about people having to stay at other places coming to Dillon because it's not a motel, not knocking our other motels, but they're just full. Sometimes people have to go like the ball teams because there's nowhere else to stay. You have a wedding in town, you like to have people come in there to have a nice place for them to stay. And, I think, I don't know the statistic, but obviously the occupancy will come in and people just driving right off 95 ready to lay their head down somewhere. So we're also getting figures from industries on how many beds they can commit to. So the industrial prospects have picked up here. I think that will only help and enhance what a developer's going to see in our area. So we'll keep you informed of what comes up. That's going to be done very fast. He drove in from Atlanta this morning. It'll be done real quick. Maggie's not here.
She was sick.
So I was hoping to get a little update, see where she is on the park department, and on that landscaping, working on that next month. We met, Janet, Lynn, and myself, and actually Mike Hannah met with Smith last week on the audit. Pretty clean as far as I was concerned. Mike Hannah, though, was there, and he is doing, I think it's called a rate assessment study. He has some good ideas. He had a very detailed sheet on where he's getting his numbers from. And he's deriving those numbers from some very concrete statistics. And so I'm looking forward to that, on what we're gonna do on our rates going forward for the water and sewer departments. And he put a lot of work into that. I was impressed with what he did. I was glad he was able to see Smith at that, because he brought up a couple of things that he's gonna go back, reassess those figures for a couple of things that could come into play and that are into play. But that's coming right around the corner. I mentioned the clock. Bert and I have been working on the clock. We're trying to find somebody, and it's our downtown clock that hasn't been working. But twice a day. The person that does the clock doesn't work with the company anymore. He doesn't come back. We got a phone call back from one fella, left a message. We can't get him back, but we're trying to make the contact. The clock's been an issue ever since we had it. I hate having that beautiful downtown clock. Of course, the temperature gauge never worked. But you at least ought to keep the time on the clock. If you look, the clock doesn't really look good if we can't keep the time. So that's a priority, is the downtown clock, because I hear a lot about it. We're trying our best to work that. The control panel box is in the depot station, and it's easy to set. We thought we had it. It was catching up with the time, didn't stop. You think it's something to do with the gears, something inside the clock. We're trying. One thing at our audit, and I don't know, Glenn, if you were going to mention this in case you forgot, but I wanted to bring it up. You know, our SRF loan out in Springfield is about to be paid off next month. March. I did not know there was a return of deposit on that or something.
Debt reserve,
Debt service, maybe?
that we had put off a year's payment,
Okay, which was about $340,000.
about 384.
380.
380.
I did not know that till the other day, that we can use for, I think we can go in either a restricted account or the unrestricted account. So Janet will, Glenn will get back with us where they think the appropriate place is to put that. I think they're thinking that it will go back toward the water and sewer, that's why it was brought up, but it's money that I never knew we had, that all of a sudden to me is come up. So just wanted to bring that to y'all's attention. I did ask him, could you use that for anything else, like the wellness center or whatever? He said you could, but I don't think they'll go that route.
I mean, I'm making the assumption that money came out of water and sewer that at one time in the beginning. And we got to do the same thing with the SRF loan we're doing right now. We've got to put in, some upfront money.
But theoretically, you could use that money and pay most of the loan, the bridge work that we're doing now. There are a lot of possibilities.
Well, one, the we will not have an SRF fund as of March 16th, but we're applying for another one, is that correct?
And we've already gotten that one. That's the one we did back in December.
Okay, so we're under that.
That will begin June, that payment begins June of 2016.
When you're under that, you have to divide the budgets.
That's correct.
If you weren't under that, you would not have to divide the budgets.
Legally, I'm not sure.
No,
Well, the reason I say that, City of Columbia, and I hate comparing them because they always have troubles, but they are being forced to some point now to have separate.
Two separate.
Yeah.
You know the answer to that?
I do not.
And the last thing I know, I was going briefly through the ledger reports, and I know on the hospitality tax, the balance went down significantly. I think we used to pay that note for the wellness center in December.
And it was paid in February.
Oh, that's what.
Have you paid that?
Yes.
That's what. So
Paid first.
That's why
one.
it was 239,000.
It's that one.
I'd like to know, Mayor, what about the $193,000 you got? That's
We,
getting
it
ready to
come up to 99,000. 99,000 what it's gonna owe. 99,214.
that y'all talking. So you gonna take another $99,000?
That's what 2% owes general fund.
For what?
with its expenditures over the
Wellness
revenues
center.
for the wellness center.
With that, Smith, I'm gonna, when I got to say, bring you on up and present the audit to us.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. You stole a couple of my points, so I'll skip right over
I
it.
know what to do that.
This is the June 30, 2015 audit report. It's a clean opinion, unqualified opinion, as Glenn likes to point out, which is clean, no exceptions. A couple of numbers I want to hit on. On page 17. Your general fund cash investments increased about $168,000. The total assets, of course, went up at the same time, about $211,000. How did this occur? Your general fund income statement on page 19 and 20. On page 20, you show the excess revenues over expenditures of $184,000 for the year, which of course increased your cash and your total assets. This puts your fund balance, unrestricted fund balance of $2.7 million compared to your FY15 budget of $5.4 million. It's a little over 50%, which is about 180 days of budget that you had access to at that point in time. The budget actual details are a little farther back. On page 51, if anyone cares to look, the revenues were over budget by $214,000. Expenses were over budget by $86,000. Well down, expenses were down from the prior year, but you bought the fire truck in 14, and that was about $275,000. That's a quick highlight of the general fund, the water and sewer fund. On page 22, cash investments decreased about $226,000. Total assets were also down a little over $1 million. I attribute all of that to depreciation expense, which is just bringing that net number, continues to bring that net number down, because depreciation expense was over $1 million by itself.
So we should, I mean, if I'm hearing right, we ought to fund depreciation then to the tune of $1 million in order to have a balanced budget.
Not to balance the budget, no. I mean, you'd be hard pressed to put past that rate increase.
If it goes away that quick, I'd go back that quick.
You're talking 30 to 50 years on the infrastructure. You know, life is how it's being depreciated, so.
So how, you're saying our total assets are about $50 million?
No. Total, 28 million at June 30, 15.
Why would our depreciation, if it's 28 million and it's over 50 years, why would it not be
30 to 50,
500?
I don't know the exact. I think the total cost was about 50, 47 million in total cost, original cost, that's being depreciated out.
Go a little more further in detail when you say 47 million. That paper you were showing me earlier, if you kind of, because I wanted to get confused on what you're talking about on the depreciation. That's depreciation of our whole system.
Yeah, that's everything. That's water, sewer, waste treatment plant, vehicles. I mean, that's the whole 9 yards. It's almost $48 million in original cost. And again, $1 million of that was written off during the
2015.
audit. And that number has continued to grow, so you're adding to it, and that $48 million just continues to grow. Going down on one side, but also going up as you add.
Cost.
That's right. Yeah, you probably couldn't do that for, I hate to put a number on it, it costs you.
Well, I know that some of that some of that we're depreciating is about to be reaching end of life depreciation, so that would come off.
That's right.
That original cost isn't as high as what original cost is in 2016.
No, not even close.
Because your two biggest ones were the spray field and the wastewater plant, is that correct? If I remember correctly?
Sewer system is a little over 20 million, and then the spray field's a little over, well, almost 13 million.
And that's over how many years?
That's original cost.
Over what, how many years is that depreciated?
Well, the spray field would be right at 20 years.
I think 40.
But the spray field itself is 20 years old.
My reason for, bringing this up, and I don't know, whether this is the time, but, we had a meeting the other day, and, we got this depreciation fund that we have in order to be able to fix the, if we've got a $1 million sinkhole, we've got that money there, and we've used it, but we've not put it back. And up until about 4 or 5 years ago, Hardy, tell me, or Janet, we used to have a $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 surplus in the black almost every year. And for the last 3 years, 5 years, we've had a deficit. And we're not funding back that money back in that depreciation fund. We're supposed to have...
Not a fund.
We're supposed to have $4.5 million, supposed to maintain $4.5 million by the end of that loan. What did he say the other day?
I don't know where it says maintain. There was,
There is no, but you're supposed to. When they did all the perspective on that project, $13 million, and they looked at the total project, part of what they did was they wanted to make sure that we had the money to maintain it when they got through with it. That was Bussy Gay Bell and the Young. And, I went down to Charleston, and that was what he showed. At the end of this loan, you're going to have this much money in the bank, and we don't. And part of it, there's two sides of this. One, we've done cash profit loss as our budget and said we're in a good place, and we're not. And when we've borrowed money out of that or taken money out of it, we're supposed to fund it back. We've gone up, we make it up in OM&R to Purdue, but we haven't made it up. I mean, we took $1 million hit. Did anybody's rates go up that year, other than Purdue?
Well, I think we're working at that right now with that rate
Well,
assessment study.
maybe this is not the time or the place, but my thing is that we need to be more aggressive about putting that money back in that depreciation fund.
in the
You got
restricted fund.
Doesn't matter. We just need the money.
Doing